Hello everyone, this is Gene and I'm back with another video. This one will hopefully be brief because there are other channels such as Clownfish TV and DanFan29 that have covered this issue, and I think they've done a very good job and certainly have done it better than I will. But I just want to just briefly chime in on my thoughts about the latest episode. I hear it's episode 3, but I don't know. Latest episode of ThunderCats Roar. I did a review of the first 2 episodes when it came out, I think in January, and I was highly displeased and I refused to watch that ever again on principle. So I cannot tell you from personal viewership or experience about this episode or this particular scene that I'm going to talk about, but I've seen many people cover it and I trust the sources that have covered it. So I don't often go on secondhand opinions, but on this case, that's what I'm going to do. So apparently toward the end of this 3rd episode of ThunderCats, which is supposed to be a crossover between ThunderCats and Teen Titans Go, which is another show that was rebooted, and that reboot has been met with some controversy. Excuse me, to say the least. But at the end of the episode, Lion-O, right, full-grown adult Lion-O, drawn in the, I would say, an 80s-ish style. It's not quite the 80s anime-esque style of the original ThunderCats, which was from 1985. But it's close enough, right? But Lion-O looks good. He looks tall, strong, like a young man, right? He looks like the way he should. It actually looks very good. Which leads me to wonder what's worse. Having the talent to draw well and deciding not to, or perhaps being told not to, or to not have the talent. I don't know. I honestly can't make heads or tails of that one. But towards the end of this episode, right, adult Lion-O, who apparently is voiced by the original voice actor for Lion-O, who I think in the first episode voiced, in the first episode of ThunderCats Roar, he voiced Jaga, explaining that they were leaving their home planet and Jaga's dead and all this other stuff. So apparently what happens in this episode, or towards the end of this episode, is that 80s Lion-O tells the ThunderCats Roar crew that they are worthy successors to the ThunderCats franchise, and that anybody who disagrees has a poop mouth and poop opinions. All I have to say to this is one, I'm not surprised. As Sturgis said in my last video, I believe the one about Ron Mars, he mentioned how there's this mentality from creators of I don't owe the customer anything. Actually, Chief, you do. And Sturgis was quite right when he mentioned that. But my thing is, okay, Cartoon Network, you guys had a history of taking shows that were beloved by a certain generation of fans, right? Teen Titans, Powerpuff Girls, Ben 10, and others. You reboot them to be these silly things. I can't even think of a term for it. Right, to be overly silly, and I'm guessing to sort of be like self-aware and lean on the fourth wall and point out the ludicrousy of it all. But instead of actually, I guess, poking fun or affectionately mocking the originals, you show disrespect, and then you want to gaslight and act as if it's the original fans who are crying foul, and saying that they're the problem and they have poop mouths and poop opinions. Here's the thing, Cartoon Network. All you're doing when you do stuff like this is just making people angry. And here's the thing. A negative opinion will spread twice as fast as a positive one. Right? Let's say you go to a restaurant and you really enjoy not just the food but the experience, right? You'll probably tell people close to you, right? You might tell your friends, your siblings, your husband or wife or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is. You'll probably tell your loved ones, and then they'll tell a few other people, or they'll go and then they'll tell people, right? But here's the thing. When people feel insulted, they are not just going to tell their friends or their family or whatnot. But especially in today's age, the first thing people do when they are insulted is that they rush straight to social media. And whether it is Yelp, whether it is YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, FaceTime, whatever it is, people go to whatever their social media of choice is, and they write a review, or they make a video, or they make a post, or whatever it is, right? And that reach, right, that reach alone is going to spread the negative opinion like wildfire, right? When you talk to one person, you've only reached one person. And that person will pass it on to another person, who will pass it on to another person, and so on and so on and so forth. But when you go to social media, you can reach at least tens, hundreds, and depending on your following, thousands of people, right, in a moment. For example, I know that my channel is very small, right? My channel's tiny. I don't deny that. But with this video right now, I am reaching out to and sharing my opinion with 167 people in one video, right? 167 people will be, if YouTube is fair, will be alerted to the fact that I've made a video. In what, about 7 minutes, I have reached over 100 people, right? And then of course those people might share the video and all this, and it will go further much faster than if I just tell, say, a family friend or another friend of mine or a co-worker about the negative experience. On top of that, right? So the negative opinions and the negative reviews because of people's because honestly of outrage culture and our reactive nature when it comes to social media, right? Whenever someone feels insulted, feels like they've been wronged, they are going to go to social media to express their opinions. First thing, right? Second thing is that if you try to tell, at least in my experience, if you try to tell someone to shut up, right? If you try to dismiss their opinions, if you try to somehow silence them, which I do think this is an attempt at. I think that this is an attempt at dismissing criticisms of the show and of trying to silence people by making them look bad, by trying to shame them, by saying that their opinions and of course what they say, right, expressing those opinions are bad, that there's of no value there, it's just diarrhea of the mouth, right, or whatever it is. So what happens is that, at least in my experience, when you try to tell someone to be quiet, they're just going to get louder. They're just going to talk and yell and scream more, because now they feel threatened, and now they are going to make sure that they are heard, okay? I am a born and bred, dyed-in-the-wool New Yorker. The absolute last thing you tell a New Yorker to do is calm down. You know why? Because that immediately flips our "did you just tell me to shut up" switch. And we go from telling you whatever the problem is, and you're like, calm down. Calm down. It's like, I am calm. I'm perfectly calm. What do you mean I'm not calm? Right? You've just pissed us off. You don't want to do that. It's just going to make the person get a lot louder with you. So never tell a New Yorker to calm down. Even if they should, find another way to say it. But my point is that when you do something like that, you're just going to make the situation worse. Now, more people, for example, myself, I wouldn't have made a video about this if I didn't see other videos, and the other videos wouldn't have been made if that scene was never in the show, right? Because nobody, at least no channel I follow was paying all that much attention to ThunderCats Roar. And then they did this, and now several of the channels I follow, and hell, some I don't follow and that I get recommends from, are now reporting on this. So this is the type of attention that you don't want. Because guess what? It's not going to help the show. It's not going to convince people to give the show another chance or to think better of it. It's just going to cause people who already didn't like the show, like myself, to just dig in their heels even more, and just it just justifies every negative opinion people had of the show. So if this was meant to somehow silence haters or silence critics and affirm that their creation, their reboot, whatever you want to call this abomination, somehow has merit or value, congratulations, Victor Cartwright and the rest of the ThunderCats crew. You played yourselves. But anyway, that's the vid. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you around the next one. Have a good day, everybody. They have us pinned in here. We are effectively quarantined because of the beer virus, I guess you could call it. So anyway, I hope you guys are happy, healthy, and safe, and I'll see y'all around. Have a good day. Bye.